Rob, can you talk to us a little bit about your experience before, during, and hopefully what you can expect after the war from an individual company perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. And first, just thanks for letting me speak today. I'm excited to talk to all of you because our Ukraine team is just such an important part of our company, Weight Sensor Technologies. As you mentioned, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Weights. So being the co-founder, I've been involved since the very beginning, and I think I'm in a good position to give some background and tell a little bit about how our team's long history in Ukraine has developed. It's a history that started before, long before the invasion, 15 years before the invasion, and endured the upheaval of the invasion, and to this day continues to thrive in spite of the invasion. So, I co-founded Weights 17 years ago in the United States. Just to give you some background, our products and services help prevent machine failures in industrial equipment. So we do this with a series of wireless sensors that we've developed. Those sensors send their data to the cloud, and then in the cloud it's analyzed by machine learning algorithms, really complicated stuff. And then ultimately, though, it's passed to a worldwide team of, including a team in Ukraine, of vibration analysts who communicate with maintenance personnel at industrial facilities to resolve problems before they become catastrophic. And so, our Ukraine team has just been an absolutely vital part of each segment of our business for our entire history, from hardware development to the machine learning development and general software development. We've got the Ukrainian team of vibration analysts in Ukraine. And then all over this, our Ukraine team runs all of our European operations. So, as you can see, we're deeply invested in Ukraine, and Ukraine, has been and will be a big part of our success going forward. So the key thing I want to talk about today is just the incredible resiliency of our Ukrainian team and the Ukrainian people generally. Many years ago, we made the commitment to open our primary European office in Kherson, Ukraine, because of its, really because of its people and their ingenuity and their work ethic. While our operations have grown, over the years, starting with one person in the early 2000s to now employing 60 people in Ukraine, we've watched the country of Ukraine blossom into this, technologically advanced modern country. And, seeing all that threatened by the Russian invasion has just, obviously for all of us has just been heart-wrenching. But watching how our team has survived and thrived during this time has been an inspiration, to our entire company. I'd like to give just a quick overview of just kind of our experience with Ukraine before, during, and after the Russian invasion. It's been really, really impressive, and it speaks, like I said before, to the will and the work ethic of the Ukrainian people. So for more than about 15 years before the invasion, our Ukraine team handled every challenge we put forth to them. Led by our VP of European Operations, Ilya Smolenko. Our team and its responsibilities there have just grown exponentially over the years. We employ top engineering and operational talent from around the world, and our Ukraine, talent equals or exceeds that talent we have in the rest of the world. We've always just been super impressed with the quality and the talents of the people in our Ukraine operations. So, before the war, like I said, we grew the Ukraine team to be about 60 people. Eventually, they're developing all the web and data software for Weights. In addition, we then asked the Ukraine team to run all of our rapidly expanding European operations, including sales, analytics, marketing, installations, service, et cetera, for our product all throughout Europe. While most of our hardware development is done in the United States, we also just shortly before the war hired some talented hardware engineers in Sumy, Ukraine, who are creating a series of new products for us. And these products, were not only designed in Ukraine, they're actually being manufactured today in Ukraine. So, we're very much in business in Ukraine right now. So, before the war, we had this, rapidly expanding, cohesive team of talented people that were running all the whole operations of our company. And then came this terrible invasion, and our team was, kind of very briefly thrown into disarray, from our home city in Kherson, which, is the only major city occupied by the Russians. Many of our colleagues there, were forced to flee to other parts of Western Ukraine, some to Western Europe, while others remained trapped in Kherson. The key takeaway to all of that is that, our Ukraine team's productivity during all of these transitions never missed a beat. In the first weeks of the conflict, our Ukraine team, continued working in the basements of their apartments while the bombs are falling around them. It was just an incredibly, scary time for them, obviously, and heart-wrenching for us to have to watch from afar. But, even while those bombs were falling, they were committing new code, rolling out new features, and it was very, very moving for the rest of our company to watch, just to see them, fighting through this situation. And in the weeks following the invasion, we were able to organize the teams to work remotely. And just 3 weeks after the invasion, we were back to 90% of the productivity we had compared to our productivity before the war. So, and now, months after the invasion, we're at 100%. Our people have migrated to other parts of Ukraine, but we continue to operate normally. It's just really been unbelievable to watch. Really, it's been really neat to see. It surprises me every day when I think about what our friends are going through, living under, Russian occupation or Russian bombing, and how they're absolutely thriving and producing and developing and growing in this difficult time. So similar to how, the world has watched Ukraine fight back against the Russian aggressors, we have watched our team battle against fear and uncertainty to come out on top, to survive, to thrive, and to win. For years before this, when people would find out that I had an operation in Ukraine, they would always ask me kind of, why Ukraine? And my answer to that question is the same today as it was 15 years ago, and it's the people. You simply can't find a more dedicated, hardworking, ingenious group of people in the world. And certainly now it's a people who've been tested by the fire of war. So as we look to this recovery plan that you're speaking of, we know that it will be made reality by the Ukrainian people themselves, and we at Weight Sensor Technologies, we'll be continuing to invest in our growth and operations in Ukraine, and I would just encourage other companies to do the same.